Have you ever felt trapped by holding on to things that no longer serve you? Maybe it's a relationship, a past regret, or an old version of yourself that you just can't seem to release, even though it's weighing you down. What if letting go could open the door to a life that truly feels like yours? Carl Jung taught us that when we decide to let go, the universe responds in a remarkable way, aligning us with our deepest truth. It's not about loss. It's about making space for something greater. In this video, we'll explore 5 powerful ways that letting go helps you harmonize with the universe, guiding you toward a life of peace and purpose. I'm here to walk you through this journey, step by step. Let's begin with way 1, rediscovering your true self. When you decide to let go, the first incredible thing that happens is you start rediscovering your true self, the person you were before you started clinging to people, outcomes, or identities that no longer fit. Carl Jung taught us that letting go isn't a loss. It's a return to what's essential, to the core of who you are beneath all the layers of fear, control, and expectation. So often we hold on to things because we're afraid of losing a part of ourselves, but Jung would say those attachments are what bury the real you. I've seen this in so many people I've worked with over the years. There was a woman named Ruth in her late 50s who had spent decades trying to be the perfect mother, always putting her family's needs first. But when her kids moved out, she realized she didn't even know what she liked anymore. Her whole identity was tied to being needed. When she finally let go of that role, she felt a mix of fear and freedom, but slowly she began to rediscover herself. She started painting again, something she loved as a young girl, and found joy in quiet mornings with a cup of tea, just being with herself. That's what letting go does. It strips away the noise and brings you back to the self that's been waiting beneath it all. You might feel a little lost at first, wondering who you are without those old labels, like the caregiver, the worker, or the fixer. But that's the beauty of it. Letting go gives you space to remember what brings you peace, what makes your heart feel alive. Maybe it's a hobby you set aside years ago, like gardening or writing, or maybe it's just the simple act of sitting still and listening to your own thoughts. Jung believed that this return to your true self is the foundation of all transformation. It's not about becoming someone new, it's about uncovering who you've always been before the world told you who you should be. When you let go, you're not losing anything. You're finding the essence of you, the part that's been quietly waiting to shine. And that's the first step to aligning with the universe, because the universe always responds to authenticity, to the real you stepping forward. As you rediscover your true self, you'll notice something deeper starting to shift inside you, setting the stage for even more change. Moving on to way 2, breaking free from inner negative cycles. As you rediscover your true self, letting go begins to work its magic in a deeper way. It breaks you free from the negative cycles that have been holding you back. Carl Jung believed that when we cling to things, whether it's a toxic relationship, a past mistake, or an outdated belief, we're often trapped in patterns rooted in our unconscious, patterns that keep us stuck in pain. These cycles aren't just about what's happening outside. They're about what's happening within, in the hidden layers of your psyche. When you let go, you send a signal to your unconscious that you're ready to change, And that's when the real transformation begins. I've seen this in so many people I've worked with. There was a man named David in his early 60s who kept finding himself in friendships where he felt unappreciated, always giving more than he received. He thought that's just how life was. But Jung would say he was caught in an unconscious cycle, one born from a fear of being alone, a fear he'd carried since childhood. When David finally let go of those one-sided friendships, something shifted inside him. He stopped feeling like he had to earn love, and his whole way of seeing himself changed. Jung taught us that letting go isn't just about releasing something external. It's about reprogramming your inner world. Those patterns, like always saying yes to avoid conflict or holding on to guilt to feel in control, are often tied to a version of yourself that needed to survive, a version that believed pain was normal or that suffering was safety. But when you let go, you shake that old loyalty to its core. Your unconscious begins to reorganize itself, untangling the knots of fear and expectation that have kept you stuck. At first, this can feel disorienting, like you're losing your bearings, because the ego that's been running the show is no longer in charge. But that's the point. Your psyche is clearing out the old to make room for something new. You'll start to notice that the same painful endings don't keep happening, that the triggers that used to upset you don't have the same power anymore. Letting go frees you from those cycles, aligning you with a deeper truth, one that the universe can now respond to with clarity and support. Now that those old cycles are starting to break, you'll notice the universe stepping in to fill the space in a new way. Now, let's explore Way 3, creating space for harmonious change. With those inner cycles breaking apart, letting go creates something beautiful. It opens up space for harmonious change to flow into your life. Carl Jung taught us that when we hold on to things that no longer serve us, we block the natural rhythm of the universe, keeping ourselves stuck in a cage of our own making. But when you let go, you step out of the way, allowing life to bring you what truly belongs to you. It's like clearing out an overgrown garden to make room for new growth. The universe can't plant new seeds if your hands are still full of the old. I've seen this happen in so many lives. There was a woman named Ellen in her late 60s who had been holding on to a dream of starting a small business, but fear of failure kept her clinging to her safe, unfulfilling job. When she finally let go of that fear and resigned, she felt a mix of panic and relief. But within months, she met a friend who offered to help her start that business, and opportunities seemed to appear out of nowhere. Jung would say, this is the universe responding, not with chaos, but with alignment. When you let go, you create an empty space, a void that might feel scary at first, but it's not a loss, it's an invitation. That space is where the universe can work its magic, bringing people, opportunities and experiences that resonate with the new version of you. You might notice that a conversation you'd normally ignore suddenly feels meaningful, or a chance meeting leads to a new friendship that feels just right. These aren't accidents. They're signs that life is rearranging itself to match your inner shift. Jung believed that what's truly meant for you doesn't require force. It flows naturally when you make room for it. So if you're feeling a season of loss, maybe a relationship has faded or a goal no longer fits, don't panic. That emptying isn't a punishment, it's a preparation. The universe is clearing the way for something better, something that aligns with who you're becoming. Let go and watch how life begins to harmonize, bringing you what you didn't even know you needed, but what your soul has been longing for all along. With that space now open, you'll start to see the universe respond in a way that feels almost magical. Here's way 4. Attracting what truly belongs to you. As you create space for harmonious change, letting go leads to another profound shift. You start attracting what truly belongs to you. Carl Jung believed that everything in our lives resonates with a certain frequency. Fear attracts fear, longing attracts longing, but wholeness attracts wholeness. When you hold on to things that don't align with your true self, you're stuck in an old frequency, pulling in experiences that mirror your inner struggles. But when you let go, you step into a new vibration, one that's rooted in your deepest essence, and the universe responds by bringing you what matches that energy. I've seen this happen in the most beautiful ways. There was a man named Charles, in his early 70s, who had always feared being alone. So he stayed in a draining relationship for years, hoping it would get better. When he finally let go, he felt a quiet peace he hadn't known in decades, and within a few months, he joined a local book club, where he met people who shared his love for history, forming friendships that felt effortless and genuine. Jung would say this is the power of resonance. When you let go, you stop operating from a place of lack and start living from a place of authenticity. The universe can't help but respond, drawing in what aligns with your new frequency. You might notice that the conversations that used to bore you now feel dull, while new ones spark your curiosity in ways you didn't expect. Or maybe opportunities, like a new hobby, a community group, or even a chance to travel, start appearing, not because you chased them, but because they fit the person you're becoming. This isn't magic, it's the natural law of energy, as Jung saw it. When your inner world becomes lighter, clearer, more honest, your outer world adjusts to reflect that. Letting go isn't about losing, it's about making room for what's truly yours. So, if you're seeing things fall away, trust that it's because they don't match the new you. What's coming next will feel like it belongs, because it's meant for the person you're stepping into, someone who's aligned with their truth and ready to receive what the universe has been waiting to offer. Now that you're attracting what truly belongs to you, letting go brings you to a place of deep fulfillment, one that comes from within. Finally, let's wrap up with way 5, living with inner peace and strength. The final way letting go aligns you with the universe is by helping you live with a deep sense of inner peace and strength, a state where you're rooted in yourself, not in what the world expects of you. Carl Jung taught us that true strength isn't about holding on. It's about the courage to release what no longer serves you, trusting that you're enough just as you are. When you let go, you stop chasing external validation, stop fighting to control every outcome, and start living from a place of inner wholeness. I've seen this transform lives in the most profound ways. There was a woman named Martha in her late 60s who spent years trying to fix a strained relationship with her sister, always feeling like she had to prove her worth. When she finally let go of that need, she found a quiet peace she hadn't known before. She started taking long walks in nature, rediscovering her love for birdwatching, and felt a strength that didn't depend on her sister's approval. Jung would say this is the paradox of letting go. You become stronger not by clinging harder, but by surrendering to what's true. You stop measuring your worth by what stays or leaves, by what others think or say. Instead, you find a steady center within, a place that isn't shaken by life's ups and downs. Maybe you'll notice that the fears that used to keep you up at night, like being alone or starting over, don't hold the same power anymore. Or perhaps you'll feel a new sense of freedom, one that comes from knowing you don't need to force anything to feel complete. Letting go aligns you with the universe because it aligns you with yourself, with the peace and strength that have always been there, waiting for you to return. When you live from this place, you become a magnet for what's meant for you, not through effort, but through the quiet power of being whole, exactly as you are. Letting go is one of the most powerful choices you can make, and these 5 ways: rediscovering your true self, breaking free from negative cycles, creating space for harmonious change, attracting what belongs to you, and living within a peace. Show how it aligns you with the universe. Carl Jung taught us that when we release what no longer serves us, we open the door to a life that truly reflects our deepest essence. It's not always easy, but it's worth it, because the universe always responds to your courage with clarity and support. Start small. Maybe today, let go of one old regret or expectation and see how your life begins to shift. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and share what you're ready to release or how letting go has changed your life. If this video spoke to your heart, give it a like and subscribe to Ageless Philosophies for more insights to guide your journey. Here's to letting go and aligning with the life you're meant to live.